Hello, thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Gunty and today we are going to be ranking MW2 maps. Now as you can see on my tier list here, I've excluded the DLC maps mainly because I don't really have that much experience with them. I feel like when Modern Warfare 2 is at its height, not that many people had the DLC and they just never really came up in lobbies. So I'm just going to exclude those for now. Some of them are good maps. I don't want to trash any of them. I just don't have the experience I have with all the other maps. So starting off with Afghan, I think I'm going to put Afghan B. I want to rank it higher because of just nostalgia, but I kind of have to remove nostalgia from this list because they're all nostalgic maps for me. They're all S tier maps, and I just can't put them all in S tier. Otherwise, we wouldn't really have a list or a ranking. So I'm going to put Afghan at B. There's that overlook spot that's great for sniping. There's some interior spots that are pretty cool and fun and good for close quarters combat. Overall, it's a pretty good map. If I had to pick a class to use for this map, I'd use the Barrett with the SPAS 12. Next we have Derail. I'm going to put it at C, kind of similar to Afghan. It's a little too big for my taste, but again, if you're a big sniper guy, it's a pretty good map. A good map for the M14 EBR, the M21 I think it is called in game. Next up we have Estate. I'm going to put this one at A. I really like Estate. I think it's got a lot of map variety, a lot of cool interesting spots. And really the map variety that we saw back at MW2 has really never been reached nowadays when you compare some of the current maps to the stuff that was in MW2. It's honestly crazy. I mean, the maps were smaller, but they were so much more densely populated with just cool stuff and interesting areas, and I really miss that. Next, we got Favela. I'm going to go S tier. This map was so hectic and fast-paced and fun, and honestly, I just loved playing it. It was so much fun. One of the best maps in Call of Duty, period. Next up, we got High Rise. I'm going to go B tier. It's an iconic map, and I think it gets just a little bit like too much hype because it has that one catwalk spot that you can get to if you time your jumps really well. And honestly, outside of that, it's really kind of a choke point 3-lane map, and there's not much to it once you kind of take your nostalgia glasses off. All right, next up we got Invasion. Invasion, I'm gonna put at C. Not really a memorable map. I think a lot of people just kind of forget this one. It's a little boring. It's fun. It's a great AR map. There's just some weird spots that don't seem to flow on the outskirts of the map, but overall not a horrible map. A C for an MW2 map is obviously like an S tier for any other game. But we're ranking them as MW2 maps. So, it's a curve. There's a curve. Skid Row, we're going to go D. Never really liked Skid Row. It just felt like it was just close quarters, tactical insertion spams at certain spots. And really that middle lane in the middle building is really the only spot people use or go to. And just an overall kind of lame map. Next up, we got Scrapyard. Scrapyard's going in A. I love Scrapyard. The setting is really cool. The map flows well. You can snipe. You can use SMGs inside the planes. ARs work well. I think it's perfect for the type of gameplay that MW2 provides, and I just think it works great. It functions, and it's a great map. One of my favorites. Next up, we got Quarry. I like Quarry. I don't like it enough to give it an A or an S, but this is really one of those maps that made SMGs viable. I think a lot of the maps are a little too big for SMGs, and they didn't get a whole lot of love in MW2. But this map here, Quarry, really allowed for the SMGs to shine, which I think is awesome because MW2 had great SMGs. I mean, you could akimbo UMPs. What more do I need to say? Terminal, obviously S tier. I mean, it's the coolest map. It's the coolest map. They haven't made one this cool since. They didn't make one this cool before. I mean, this map, granted, some might say it's a little too big, but I think it's awesome. And again, getting back to that map variety, just the variety of locations inside an airport terminal it's nuts. You can go in the plane, all that kind of cool stuff that you don't see in modern Call of Duty games that you saw here. It's just fantastic. Wasteland's going to go D. I know there's probably some dude clutching his thermal intervention saying, oh, I actually like that. It's too big. Sorry. It's just too big. It's not fun. That's really all I need to say about it. It's a lot of walking and getting sniped. I'm not a fan. Karachi, I'm going to put C tier. It's a fine map. It's really not super memorable. I mean, it works well, but I don't have a whole lot to say about it. Rust is S tier just because it's so iconic. It's the 1v1 spot. Granted, in terms of being like an actual map for like game balance, it's probably terrible because I mean you get one chopper gun and there's really nowhere to hide. But just the amount of fun I've had on this map is it's awesome. It doesn't get much better than that. It is S tier. It's iconic. I don't think there is a more iconic MW2 map or Call of Duty map for that matter. I think Terminal's a better map, and I think Favela's a better map, but Rust is still S tier because how could Rust not be S tier? Rundown, we're going to go C. Again, it's kind of the same thing with Karachi where I just feel it's not very memorable. There's some interesting lanes at play with the bridges, but again, I just don't think it's one of those maps I can't remember having just an awesome, super fun game in. And honestly, I feel like I can say that I've had, better games for Skid Row than I had this one. Subbase is, we're going to go A tier. I love Subbase. Subbase is a lot of fun. Again, these maps that allow for different types of gameplay, be it sniper rifle, SMG, AR, shotgun, all that kind of stuff, it's just a lot more fun than some of the other maps, and that's kind of why Subbase gets an A for me. It's just, again, that great variety. And then we're moving on to our last map. We'll see how this one ranks up. We've got Underpass, and for me, Underpass is a B. I think it's serviceable. I think it's a lot of fun. Again, getting back to that, you can kind of just, play any type of class, use any kind of weapon. And I just think it's a pretty alright, pretty fun map. And, it's a B. It's a B tier. So that's my ranking of MW2 maps. Thank you for watching. Quick video for today, just trying to get it pumped out. If you could comment, like, subscribe, do any of those three. I just started my channel here on YouTube and I'm grinding it out, trying to build a following, a fan base, get you guys interested in my content. So legitimately any of that stuff will make my day. It's just awesome. I just want to see feedback even if it's not good. So thank you guys for watching, and please check out some of my other videos, some of my other tier lists, and I'll see you guys in the next video.